While the left continues to push perverted books on America's youth, the American people appear to be waking up, and partially due to videos like this from Taylor Hansen over at Tenet Media. He went out in Texas and asked people about these quote-unquote banned books and then read them entire pages from these books that people want removed from schools. You guys, there's a handful of scenes in this video that we absolutely had to unpack, but before we do, welcome back to the channel, everyone. Thank you all for being here. You can please really quickly hit that like button for the algorithm. I'll greatly appreciate it. And then lastly, this video is sponsored by my good friends over at Undertac. Huge shout out to them. We'll talk about them a little bit more in a bit. So the video is called Explicit Books Okay for Schools. This is on the brand new media site, Tenet Media. If you guys aren't subscribed already, please consider subscribing to their work down in the description below. And then if you want to check out the full video, as always, that'll be down in the description below as well. Let's go ahead and jump on in.
Should we be banning books in schools?
No,
No?
absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Against? Broadly against for the most part?
I would say basically I'm against it, but there's some things that are not age appropriate for kids, you know?
It's a very tricky question.
I don't think you should be banning books in public schools.
Don't ban any books in public schools?
Correct.
No banning.
No. Don't ban books in public schools?
No. It's not a good idea.
Not a good idea?
No.
If you do me a quick favor, and you can stop if you're uncomfortable at any point in time of reading through this, could you just read through this page for me?
Out loud. Let her
Okay,
read
so
it.
she's about to read this page from this book. You see a lot of no answers, but one thing I'm just going to say this just because I know you guys are going to bring it up in the comments down below is the whole banning book. It's not banning books, it's removing books, right? We all understand that. I think usually when it's okay to bring that up, use the more of left's language is maybe in the title, and then in the video you clarify what it is. Or you say, hey, Gavin Newsom keeps talking about quote-unquote banning books, so you throw it on somebody else. I saw a comment, it was the top comment on this video bringing that up, that they're not banned. They don't appear to have done either, but that's all right. We'll move on.
Cisgender men can pleasure each other in a variety of fun ways. Handsies, perhaps the most important skill you will master as a gay or bi man is the timeless classic, the hand job. The good news is you can practice on yourself. The bad news is each guy has become very used to his own way of getting himself off. Learning how to find a partner's personal style can take ages, but it can be very rewarding when you do. Okay? Something they don't teach you in school is that in order to be able to come at all, you or your partner may need to finish off with a handsy. You pick the right people to read this. A lot of people find it hard to come through other types of sex. This is fine and certainly not something you have to apologize for. A good handsy is all about the wrist action.
It's just at that. I mean, you know, we've gone so far from sex education books. This is just simply kink education. I'm sure many of you guys actually remember my video on this, my version of this video that I did a few months ago. And, you know, we had one of the gentlemen, he was a younger guy, just saying, this isn't education. This is just kink. That's all this stuff is. This isn't how you procreate or prevent that. This is just straight up kink education.
Finally, my misunderstanding about rubbing two peens together wasn't far off the mark. Rubbing them together in one hand feels awesome. Mega combo handsy.
Trademark pending. This book is gay. That is the title of this book. So do you think a book with, detailed explanation about a good handy and a bad
I can't
handy?
imagine anything but that being in schools, but
It is in schools nowadays, though. But do you think this should be allowed in schools for children just to check out?
well, that shouldn't just really be a book,
Shouldn't be a book in general?
right?
Yeah.
She's just saying that shouldn't even be a book, I guess. Her attitude right there is a little bit odd. Maybe she's a little bit confused about what he's saying or something, but that shouldn't even be a book. Double combo, handsy, whatever. Yeah, great education. All right, everyone, let's take a few moments to talk about today's sponsor. Are you wearing underwear with some creepy old dude's name on the waistband? If yes, then 1, that is objectively weird, but 2, it's probably time to make a change. In fact, even if you're not, it's probably still time to order some fresh underwear. Undertac aren't your typical men's boxers. They're made with modal. Think of like cotton, just way better. They're 50% more moisture wicking, antibacterial, and way softer. Undertac stays in place with a sturdy yet comfortable extra wide waistband, and the fly design is brilliantly straightforward. They're durable, ultralight, fade resistant, and shrink resistant. And here's the best part, you guys. They're 25% less expensive than the competition, and people love them. The Undertac's been sponsoring this channel for almost 2 years now, and you guys can't get enough of them. And if that isn't enough, they donate a portion of their profits to organizations actively in the fight against human trafficking. Go pick up a drawerful today or get them as a gift for somebody. It's literally all I wear now. Visit undertac.com. That is undertac.com. Use offer code KLUG20 for 20% off site-wide. Exceptional comfort at a fraction of the price. Undertac.com, spelled undertac.com. You guys use offer code KLUG20 at checkout. I'll put a link down in the description below. Let's get back in this video. It's wild seeing just the shift. Okay, so yes, no banning books, but maybe ban that one. Remove that one from schools. It's funny how when this conversation happens, it's almost as though it's just for the people that actually believe in it, it's all anarchy. It's just everything's allowed for children, and we'll double down just because we don't want to appear bigoted. That's why. But hey, okay, they're saying that shouldn't even be a book, shouldn't be allowed. All right, let's move on.
First of all, we have reading glasses.
No, I would not want that in there.
We have reading
See, not even the graphic, right?
No.
You haven't even read. You haven't even read it
I
yet.
don't want to see that.
Absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
They're just saying, nope, we don't even need you to read it. If we see that, we do not want that in schools. Yeah, just much like you don't want Playboy magazine in schools, right? Pretty fair stuff. What is the argument in favor of this? What on earth is the argument in favor of this? They didn't even need, and I'm gonna have to blur this stuff out just because I learned my lesson on my last upload, but they didn't even need to read it. They say, okay, even for high schoolers, that just doesn't need to be in the library where younger kids can get a hold of it. But it's not just a conversation of high school. A lot of these books are pushed in high school, which by the way, like 9th grade kids are pretty darn young, but they're also pushed in middle schools, even found in some elementary schools. Let's move on.
Licking the bottom.
oh, read the definition as well.
Oh, rimming. Licking the bottom.
And scat.
Scat. Eating poop. You want me to keep going?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to keep going, you can.
Okay. Scissor sisters. A sexual position for two, not cool. No, that's not appropriate for kids.
I mean, teaching kids what scat is, that's a little bit
No.
out there for me.
No. Right. No, that's not appropriate for kids. I think anybody,
At least anybody that's semi-rational, right?
She did bring up in the beginning age appropriate, so I think she kind of gets a pass there because people hear banning books and they're like, oh, like banning books. Is it just normal books or what are we talking about here, right? So she did bring up age appropriate. I love how she's just cringing at reading this stuff because it's so unbelievable that it is being pushed on anybody under the age of 18. It just doesn't even seem like a battle that they need to have. However, that's where we are today. The left will literally fight to have these in high schools, in middle schools. They will fight to have it in middle schools, for sure. No doubt about it. Absolutely. One thing I wanted to note, when I went out and did my version of this video in Philadelphia, I went to the Moms for Liberty Summit, spoke with moms at Moms for Liberty, also spoke with counter-protesters outside. And when it came to the counter-protesters outside, one argument that they would bring up is just, oh, well, this whole argument is just a spearhead for white supremacy. That's what it is. That's why you guys have a problem with it. It's like, no, I think it's pretty normal people that don't want this stuff in schools, right? It's a fairly common, like just your average person from 6 years ago, maybe. Like that seems like who doesn't want this in schools.
Yeah, no, I don't think that's appropriate content for,
Not appropriate for children, right?
No,
Don't ban all books, but ban very specific,
correct.
over sexualized books, right?
Right.
Agreed.
But then who's going to decide? Like, what's the deciding factor? Where do you draw the line? That's
Yeah, I mean, that is one of the complications there for sure. No doubt about that. However, I think there's a few areas where people can pretty much draw the line, whether it be, it's not a gay thing, whether it be straight, gay, whatever it is. Kink education probably doesn't need to be in a public school where your taxpayer dollars are paying for that. You can go out and get these books, hence them not being banned, right? But when it comes to taxpayer dollars in a public school, I think most parents should have a say in what is in those school libraries and what isn't. Kink education seems like a pretty easy line to draw.
Try different speeds and pressures until he responds positively. A bad handy is grasping a todger and shaking it like a ketchup bottle.
I guess then it should be up to the faculty to sift through the books.
Up to the
But
faculty?
not the faculty can handle it.
You think the parents should have a say?
I I think the faculty can
Common
handle
response right there when it comes to the appeal to authority. It is, oh, well, they know what's best for the children, right? I can just turn my brain off and say, my child can read this type of literature in the public school library, right? That would be the argument that I ran into when I went out and did this video, is people just saying, no. The librarians are experts. So if you don't think that your children should be reading sexually explicit content, but the librarian does, they win because they know what's best. No. No. You know what's best for your child. You're the parent. That's who knows what's best. Not some random librarian that got radicalized in college and went to go work at a public school where she believes, he or she, probably she believes that children can read this type of garbage. I wanted to finish by saying, when I was showing people the content that's allowed for kids under the age of 18, sometimes in middle schools, sometimes in high schools, the video got about 80,000 views, and then YouTube hit it with a age restriction, meaning it's completely out of the algorithm, and you have to be signed in to actually watch the video and be over the age of 18. And is that because they think it's not age appropriate? Do we really think that's why? I don't know. Maybe they listened. Maybe they totally agree with me. I highly doubt it. But when I'm talking to these people that are saying absolutely young kids could read this, and it's allowed in many parts of the country. By the way, if you're a parent, check with your school district's reading list to make sure that a lot of these books aren't in your school district or aren't in your child's middle school or high school. But a lot of these people are fighting for that. And they're saying it's absolutely okay. And then YouTube strikes it and says it's not. Totally demonetizes the video, totally destroys its reach. So I ended up having to completely blur out all the pages that I was showing people in the video just to get this word out there, to educate people. Because the purpose of doing this is to spread the word and educate people and show them what is actually in these school libraries. So anyways, we have this guy totally failed. It's up to the librarians. They know what's best. They know what's best for your kids. I think this video probably could have used a little bit, maybe a couple more of guys like this just to show you the insane differences of people that will change their minds once they kind of get a little bit more context, and the people that'll completely double down and say, no, it's okay. Leave it up to the librarians. It's fine. Or not even that argument. Just fully supporting it. It's unbelievable to see this stuff live when you're actually talking with them and they're totally on board with this type of content being in their school libraries. It's unbelievable. Anyways, Taylor did a fantastic job in this video. If you guys aren't subscribed to Tenet Media already, go subscribe, go support new media. And if you are already subscribed over there, let me know what you guys think about Tenet Media down in the comment section below. They seem to have a pretty good lineup of hosts. I think they're going to do quite well. Anyways, you guys, if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to hit that like button, make sure to subscribe for more videos, and hit that bell notification button so you're notified next time I post. I'll catch you all in the next video.